What's good out there, Liquid Trucking, and welcome into episode 91 of the Liquid Trucking Podcast. I am your host, Marcus. Thank you so much for being here with me today. You got to go over and check out our website. You know I'm always blabbering about this. Podcast.liquidtrucking.com. That's where you're going to find all the fun stuff that we talk about. Episode descriptions. You will find who is on each episode, just in case you've found yourself a favorite driver and you want to listen to everything they've done on the Liquid Trucking Podcast. You can go through and find that there at the website. There's also playlists up there that kind of categorize the episodes into different categories, make it a little easier to bounce around and listen to what you want to. So great website, podcast.liquidtrucking.com. My guy Tyler is the guy behind that, and trust me, he does very, very good work. If you haven't checked it out, which I know a lot of you have, and we are greatly appreciative of that, head on over to podcast.liquidtrucking.com. I do have a couple of things that I want to get moving here. And we've kind of been talking about them, and as fall starts to sort of show up, we're going to start talking about those things. One of those things is football. We will address that in next week's episode, and trust me, we will address it hard, fast, touchdowns, extra points, interceptions, fumble returns, all of it. We're going to talk college football. We'll talk some pro football. I'm going to get as many drivers in as I can. We always love having these football episodes at the beginning of fall each year. And now that my team, the Oregon Ducks, plays in the Big Ten, which is definitely Liquid Trucking territory, it's a crap talking fest, man, and it'll be fun. And of course, as you all know, all of you Chiefs fans out there know well that I am a San Francisco 49er, and you've gotten one over on us not once but twice in recent years, and I have some thoughts. So if you want to talk about football on the Liquid Trucking Podcast, it will happen next week. Make sure you're paying attention to your text so that you can get in on that show. What we're doing today is also kind of a sign of the times, all right? Here we are, late August, the dog days of summer, if you will, but for those of you out in the Midwest, not so much here on the West Coast as much, but on the Midwest, you guys are getting back to school already, man. I have seen and been told that out there in the Midwest, you guys are kind of last week in August is when school starts, maybe first week in September. I can remember multiple times where I didn't start school until after Labor Day weekend, which is always the first Monday in September. So, we had daily doubles for football and all that good jazz going on in the summer, but we weren't in class yet. So I wanted to put together a back-to-school episode here, and the back-to-school episode is an important one because we want to talk about all the great stuff you guys did over the summer. What'd you do with your families? Where'd you go? What'd you see? But we also want to talk about the kind of excitement / anxiety that comes along with a new school year. So today, I've got two drivers joining me, Burt Morris and Mikal Duncan. And Burt was nice enough to bring along his 14-year-old daughter, Caitlin, to the interview. We're going to talk about all the summer vacation things and all the back-to-school things here, but also something to pay attention to in this episode. In the second half of the episode after the interview, we are going to be talking about some pretty hair-raising facts and statistics that surround back to school. Now, I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. I've also got a list of the top 5 vacation destinations in the United States for families. And it's very specific for families. Like, I'm not taking you to South Beach, okay? That's not where we're going here. We're not going to go to Vegas, unfortunately. I would love to go there. There's plenty for the kids to do there, but that's an adult playground, okay? So later on in the episode, after we talk to Burt and Donut and Caitlin, we are going to jump in. We're going to find out the 5 top destinations that you can go maybe take one last weekend trip before the summer wraps up. And then we're going to start talking about some stats about kids going back to school and the danger it poses, okay? It's a little bit hair-raising. It's a little bit eye-popping. It's not always going to be the best statistics. I'm not going to rainbow and butterfly fart you guys into oblivion here. These are some pretty harrowing statistics, but I think it's smart that we listen to them once a year around going back to school time just to get a refresher and just to make sure, hey, our eyes are open, our heads are on a swivel. We got get out and look on the mind. We don't want to see any kids suffer at all as the new school year starts, and they are going to be out and about just like they do those first couple weeks of summer, man. All of a sudden, there's kids everywhere, and all drivers, not just truck drivers, need to be being diligent and paying attention and taking safety into mind as liquid drivers do every single day, every hour, every minute. So think about this as a fun way to talk about the summer wrap-up and what everybody did, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get into some pretty hair-raising statistics, so stay tuned for it. If nothing else, it's good info. But I thought about this too. We haven't done What Is Today in a while. And you know me, I love What Is Today, okay? It's nationaltoday.com is where I get these days. And they are always, how can I put it? Random. They are a grab bag of randomness. That's the best way I can put it. For instance, today is National Just Because Day. On August 27th, you don't need a reason to celebrate. All you need is National Just Because Day. Why? Well, just because. If you want to make spaghetti for breakfast wearing last year's Halloween costume, more power to you. If you want to climb a tree as an adult, take the risk. It's a day to stop worrying about the whys. Just Because Day has also become a great way to spend random acts of kindness. Send a thoughtful card to a friend just because. Give your grandparents a call just because. Pick up the trash from your neighbor's yard just because. Now, some of that stuff is awesome. Call your grandparents, man. Call your parents. Send a friend a greeting card, or you could just call them too. Some of my guys would get a greeting card and be like, "What are you doing?" And they would call me and ask me if I was okay and if I needed somebody to talk to, because that's just a little emo for me. But maybe that's right up your alley. Maybe you're a greeting card guy on things other than like birthdays and holidays. If you are, by all means, hook up a greeting card for a good friend. I would advise against picking up trash out of your neighbor's yard, mainly because I subscribe to the adage, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And I would probably be taking treasures out of his lawn and not trash, because I don't think that my neighbor's trash in his lawn is my treasure. However, he does have a really cool sprinkler head that I would like to get my hands on. And I don't know if Just Because Day is going to rid me of the accusation. So be careful on Just Because Day, but it does sound like a good reason to do something random, okay? How about this? In Nicaragua, they are celebrating on August 27th, Crab Soup Day. On August 27th, by many people in the country, Crab Soup Day is celebrated. The citizens and visitors enjoy taking part in activities which feature several entertaining events. These events include beauty pageants, parades, and other contests. You know, I never thought beauty pageant and Crab Soup Day would be on the docket together, but I like it. I'm here for it, okay? The magnificent turquoise waters and sandy white beaches of Nicaragua make the country the ideal venue for the Crab Festival. Despite being somewhat detached from the rest of the globe, the Crab Soup Festival is regarded as a significant event that honors the abolition of slavery in the country, which I think is a great way to celebrate. Let's have some soup. Let's do a beauty pageant and a parade. Let's celebrate the abolition of slavery. That's okay. And look, even though I can't have it around my wife because she'll be in the hospital, a good crab bisque is not a bad thing, okay? You know, nice big slice of bread. Ooh, maybe you get it in a sourdough bread bowl. Okay, now I'm hungry. On to the rest of what today is, something that hits a little closer to home here. National Petroleum Day takes place on August 27th. The purpose of the day is to raise awareness about industry issues and to recognize the importance and effect of petroleum resources in our lives. It's a day to honor this priceless natural resource and the great amount of good it has done for humanity, national wealth, and our lives in the 21st century, not to mention the transportation industry. Many people in the oil and gas business utilize the event as a forum to talk about the difficulties they confront. So there you have it. National Petroleum Day. I think the first one was, wow. It looks like they were celebrating this in China like decades, centuries ago. So let's not even get into the history of it, okay? How about International Lottery Day? No matter what language, people around the world love lottery games, and on International Lottery Day, every August 27th, we're all dreaming about euros, dollars, pounds, and lire. Lottery-style games have gone mobile, so it's easier than ever to play. I feel like that was an advertisement mixed into this little description. That's great news for the UK, where a study shows 83% of residents report purchasing scratch-off lottery tickets in the past year. So today's the day. Buy a lottery ticket. It's certain that your odds are going to be worse on International Lottery Day because everybody's going to be buying, or at least that's what they hope to tell you. Again, I want to say I think that this was just an advertisement for a gambling service, but we won't mention their name, so you won't go and give them any money. Just buy a Powerball ticket, man. That's the easiest way to go. $2, you're in the game. You might walk away with like hundreds of millions. And finally, Ireland today is celebrating the Duchess Who Wasn't Day. This one is not significant to the podcast or the industry at all. I just had to grab it because it sounded interesting. The Duchess Who Wasn't. What's that story about? Well, the Duchess Who Wasn't Day is celebrated every year on August 27th in Ireland. This creatively named day celebrates the life of Margaret Wolfe Hungerford, a novelist who published most of her novels under the pen name The Duchess. Margaret Wolfe Hungerford has over 57 pieces published. The number might be much higher because most of her early works were published under the pseudonym Anonymous. She has also contributed to several newspapers, and she was responsible for a huge family with 4 girls and 2 sons. Give her a round of applause. Happy the Duchess Who Wasn't Day, Ireland. Have a Guinness on me. Well, it won't be on me. I can't get my tab open over there, but have one anyway and pour one out for me, okay? That's what today is, August 27th, for better or for worse, whether you wanted to know or not. Now you know. So if somebody goes, oh, God, today sucks, be like, hey, it's National Crab Soup Day in Nicaragua, and I would appreciate it if you would pay some respects. At least that's how I'd do it. Here comes our interview. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the gold standard of podcasts for the gold standard of drivers. This is the Liquid Trucking Podcast with your host, Marcus Bridges.
All right, welcome back into the Liquid Trucking Podcast. I'm very excited about today's interview. Now, I say that all the time. I'm always very excited about the interviews. That's part of being me. But this one has a very, very special guest joining us today, along with a couple of our liquid drivers that you will recognize. First, let's welcome to the show Mikal Donut Duncan back with us again. How's it going out there, Donut? I understand you're joining us from home time right now. We greatly appreciate the effort.
Yeah, everything's going great. Just kind of relaxing today.
Okay, a little bit of putting the punctuation mark on the end of the summer vacation, maybe?
Yeah, I was actually waiting for this podcast. After it, I got to sit down and do some work on that tabletop game I've discussed before.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
And,
well, that's good. Anything else going on out there?
It's my son's birthday this weekend, so we have a big thing planned at the park and stuff.
That's awesome, man. Well, I bet you're looking forward to that, and thank you for sharing that with us. We're going to get into all the stuff that you've been getting into with the kids over the summer here in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. Also joining us today is Burt Morris, a member of the Teenage Hotline. What's up, Burt? Thanks for being here.
Well, not much. I'm just working.
Just working, I understand.
Unloading semester oil.
Yep, you're unloading right now, so we might get a little bit of background noise, but we're not concerned about it. This is a trucking podcast. We're used to it. Now, I'm going to let you do the honors, Burt, of introducing our final guest today because you were so kind to bring her along. So tell us who's joining us today.
Our final guest for the day is my 14-year-old daughter, Caitlin Rose Morris.
Caitlin, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yes.
So I have to ask you, Caitlin, when your dad called you and asked you if you wanted to come on a podcast, what was going through your mind?
I didn't know what to think, to be honest.
Have you ever been on a podcast before, or do you listen to podcasts?
I listen to podcasts.
Which ones are your favorite besides the ones that your dad's on?
Well, I listen to like a bunch of like true crime podcasts.
Okay. All right. You and me could be
Typical
friends
woman.
then. Yep. You and me could be friends. I listen to them too. I'm a huge fan of True Crime Garage. That's my favorite one.
Oh, wow.
You'll have to check that one out. Thank you so much for being here today. We're glad to have you. Now, one of the reasons that we opened this up to bring any kids along was to talk about summer vacation and how it went, whether or not you're looking forward to going back to school. So Burt, I'll start with you here. How much time did you get off this summer to spend with Caitlin and the rest of the family?
I have taken no time off. I took a day off for Memorial Day weekend. We do a bike rally. We do a poker run and bike game, so we went out to that. But our house is focused on buying a new house, so we have not taken off time.
Okay, so you're working hard, man, trying to put some money in the bank. I get it.
Yep.
And how about you, Caitlin? Did you get into anything fun over your summer vacation, or were you out there pounding the pavement and working too?
Well, my summer vacation was pretty boring, actually.
Why is that?
I didn't do as much as I would have liked to do. I kind of just like laid in my bed the whole time.
Okay, all right.
Doing what? Doing your favorite what?
I played Roblox.
Hey, that's okay.
Yep.
I'm a gamer. Michael Donut Duncan is a gamer. I totally understand and have spent many hours in bed playing games like Roblox. So you're not going to get any flack from me, Caitlin.
Okay.
What would you say the highlight of your summer vacation was, aside from laying in bed and getting really good at Roblox?
Probably like going out to do stuff with my friends or my family.
Okay. Any highlights? Anything that you did fun? Did you go see anything? You go see any movies? You go to any theme parks? Anything fun like that? Or you guys just kind of hanging out?
We kind of just hung out, but I did go to like Funplex and I went to like the lakes and stuff, so that was fun.
Awesome. You got to work in a lake in summer vacation. I just got some of my lake time in last weekend, and it's amazing. You can be really beat down and really tired and go to a lake, and all of a sudden you feel great, and you just want to do all the things. So I'm all about lake time. That sounds fun, Bert. I bet you wish you could have cooled your toes off in the lake once or twice this year.
We did, and we're going again. We got a float coming up the 15th, which I heard old Donut say that it was his kid's birthday. Her birthday is the 14th.
Oh, awesome.
So we got some stuff coming up yet.
Well, happy early 15th birthday, Caitlin. Does that mean that kind of puts you into thinking about getting your learner's permit? Are you anxiously awaiting 16 for that driver's license?
I'm thinking about getting my learner's permit.
It's a good idea, and you got a great teacher there that lives with you. You can get your mom to teach you because Bert doesn't know what he's talking about.
Whatever, man. Whatever. What'd we learn this weekend, Kate? What'd we learn, huh? Tell the men what I showed you.
He taught me how to jumpstart a car.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's valuable info.
We're prepping our child
Good.
to use the motorcycle instead of the car, though.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay. As long as you learn the basics, that's all it's about. Okay, well,
That's right.
all joking aside, I had to hit Bert back there a little bit because he told me that his instruction to you was that you could answer the phone for a weirdo once, and that weirdo was me. So I appreciate you actually answering the call.
Yes.
Well, let's move over here to Donut. Michael Duncan joining us again. I know that you're on home time now, man, but let's talk a little bit about the summer at large. What did you get into with the family this year? Did you get some time off? Did you guys go do anything fun?
Well, my schedule is I take 4 weeks out and I come home for a week, and then we go spend an entire day with my son. We did do that lamb party for Father's Day. We did it a little late. I was cooking the whole time, but
so you didn't get to enjoy any of the games, but you got to have the food.
Oh, I got to enjoy the games. I don't do cleanup. I do. We have a rule that if I cook, they clean up, and that's their rule. They don't let me do dishes or anything. They get mad at me.
Wow. That's a hell of a setup, man. I can tell you right now, my wife and I have a competition to see who can stare at the dishes longer and get pissed off by them less. So, it's I gotta find a way to work that into her, because I do a lot of the cooking around here. She does a fair amount of the cleaning, though. I will give her this. I cooked last night, and before I'd even gotten up out of my chair, the kitchen was spotless. So sometimes I get that luxury, and it's amazing.
I love to set up my games and leave the controllers in there. I set up them on Call of Duty Cold War Zombies.
Uh-huh.
And I left all the controllers in there so they could all play together. And I had to make sure he had a copy too. So I'm watching them all play the games I have that they can do multiplayer on. And I'm sitting there wondering which one's going to give me a heart attack first.
And what'd you find out?
It's my partners. I cannot count the number of times that they blew themselves and each other up with a grenade.
That's fun to watch when you're not playing, though, right? Like, as a spectator, you kind of like it when that stuff happens.
Mm-hmm. I made sure to set it up that they were in a private room, so they were the only ones that would be in there, so that my son doesn't have to deal with the people who like to curse and belittle everyone.
Oh, yeah. I totally understand that, man. I learned some of the best insults I've ever had in Call of Duty lobbies, so I totally get that. I mean, if you want to learn how to talk mess to people, you go sit in a Call of Duty chat room for a little while.
Oh, no, I was worried that he's hurt their feelings.
Okay, so he's already well-versed.
Oh, he has me as a dad.
Understood, man.
I do things by my mother's mentality. If you can survive me, you can survive anything this world's got to throw at you.
I like it, man. It's a good mindset to have. So tell me a little bit about the birthday party coming up. What do you guys got planned? It sounds like a fun one.
There's a little park out here in North Platte, Nebraska, that has a bunch of animals like peacocks and geese and. Oh yeah. I'm trying to remember if they have moose or elk. There's a big section with an island, and they switch them out occasionally. I don't know which one we have right now.
That's cool, man. Just a place to be able to go see. I mean, elk in captivity, moose in captivity, they aren't going to act quite the same, but they're still such a majestic animal to get to sit there and just look at for a while.
It got scary when I was a kid and there were moose out there. They tried to take the fence down.
Yeah, man, and those things are the size of a Jeep Grand Cherokee, so they will take a fence down if they want to.
They can total a semi just by being friendly.
Yeah.
Right?
Understood, man. Copy that. So, you gonna go out and see the animals? You guys, is there like a place to like picnic and stuff out there, or do you guys go out there and then you go into dinner? What's the plan?
There's this big pavilion out there. If the weather agrees with us after the birthday party, we're gonna go out to the lake and shooting. It's been hard for us to get out and do that when I'm there because it's been raining every time I make it out there.
Well, hopefully you get some good weather this weekend, man. We're pulling for you.
Agreed.
So talk to me about this. I'm gonna kick this back over to Burt and Caitlin real quick. We've talked about the summer vacation. Sounds like you got a lot of energy stored up for the school year, Caitlin, because you spent some good time relaxing and just hanging out with your friends. Are you looking forward to this year of school? And I guess, is this you going into your freshman year or your sophomore year? What grade are you headed into?
Freshman.
Freshman year. So first year of high school. Are you excited? Are you nervous?
I'm excited and nervous, to be honest.
Okay. Well, what parts make you excited and what parts make you nervous?
Well, I'm excited to see people I know and like talk to my friends, but I'm like also a little excited to meet new people, but that part also like makes me nervous at the same time.
Yeah. I hear you. I remember, this type of stuff doesn't happen a lot anymore, and I don't want to scare you because I'm sure nobody will do this to you. But when I was a freshman, all of the seniors on the football team made all the freshmen on the football team stand in front of the entire senior class of girls and sing I'm a Little Teapot and do the motions and everything like that. And yeah, it melted me into a puddle as a freshman. I don't know if I ever came back from that, Caitlin, but you'll probably have a better shake at it than I do, I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a little embarrassing, but people like me deserve things like that. So, I get it. What is your favorite subject in school? Like, what are you looking forward to in high school that's going to be kind of more in depth? Are there any, math, science, social studies, anything like that you really enjoy?
I love English.
Perfect. Me too. That's where I came from. You can get yourself in trouble knowing too many words, so be judicious, okay? That was a big one.
Okay.
Burt, I got to ask you from the father perspective of having a fresh-faced high schooler now, what's different about it? Are you excited? Are you nervous?
Well, I mean, it's a combination of both. I mean, our kids got to grow up, become independent. So, I mean, I can't rescue her. I just, like showed her on my buddy's truck where to check oil and, where the things were located. And then my Dyna wouldn't start, my motorcycle. So I'm like, hey, come out here. It's time to learn how to jump start a car, I showed her that. It's different for me now that she's going into high school. She got a boyfriend. She skipped out on a month of seeing me. And, for having a teenage daughter, she really does. We have a good relationship, I think. She comes around all the time, She doesn't mind being around me. She misses me, or so she says. I'm really proud of her because, she hasn't said it yet on here, but, she has goals for, the remainder of her high school. She's got goals to finish early and start doing some college classes. She made honor roll last year. She got 1B the whole year.
Wow.
She got straight A's. So, yeah. So,
I got a round of applause for that because that's something I never accomplished. Great job, Caitlin. Great job.
Especially coming from my genes.
Yeah, I hear you. So let me ask you this, Caitlin. Talk to me about your plans. Your dad says you want to graduate early and take some college courses. Are there some professions that you're interested in learning more about and maybe pursuing as you get older?
I'm interested in psychology.
Oh, okay. Very cool. We want to get into other people's heads and knock around in there for a minute, see if you can jumpstart those, huh?
Yeah.
I like it. Well, that's amazing to have that type of enthusiasm for a career path already when you were 14. If you would have asked me what I was going to do when I was 14, I would have told you I was going to go be a rock star and tour the country and play music. And I actually think I held on to that until my mid-20s, Caitlin. So I have to tip my cap to you. You seem very mature and very ready for the world.
She's focused.
Her
uncle's still living that rock star dream.
Oh, yeah? You got an uncle that's a rock star, Caitlin?
Oh, yeah.
What's he play, Burt?
Everything. Plays bass, drums, guitar, even, I don't know. The kid stayed home the whole time through junior high and high school just to practice. My mom went to jail 4 times for disturbing the peace because of him. He's the only kid in the household that didn't get arrested before 10 years old. And he makes more. He's a welder, but he actually makes more money running sound and playing. He's in a few bands, Shoot to Thrill, tribute bands, like Blow Your Top, and then a Cars tribute band.
Wow. Sounds like one heck of a musician, man. Well, I'm glad he got to follow his dreams.
Really into it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mikal, you've been being patient over there, man, and I greatly appreciate it. I hate to see you calling in on home time and not get to take part here, so let's kick it back over to you. As the school year starts to shape up here, is there excitement in the Duncan household? Is there reticence? Are kids nervous? What's the environment like right now as school is just around the corner?
I think I'm more nervous than he is. He's going into kindergarten proper this year.
And what makes you nervous? You've talked about the situation before on the show here, so we can catch people up if you'd like to, but your son is autistic, correct?
Yep.
Okay, and so a little bit of nerves.
The first school we were looking at putting him in, the district he's actually in, they were at the teacher meet and greet, and one of his future teachers was trying to push him to say things and do things, and he wasn't having it. So his mom went, "Hey, you gotta have to give him a second. He's autistic. He's got to gear up." And the moment the lady heard that he was autistic, she threw her hands up and backed up, like she was going to catch something from him. And we're like, "Yeah, we're not putting him here."
That doesn't sound good. Yeah, good decision, man. I would think that their bedside manner as a teacher would be much better than that if they had an experience worth their salt.
Yeah, well, you'd think, but no. So we went looking at the school district I had gone to when I was there. And when I was there, and I didn't have a diagnosis at his age, but my teacher was still good with me. So we went and looked over there, and he's actually going to have the teacher that I'd had for first grade is now actually a kindergarten teacher there, and so he's going to have the same teacher I had.
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
Dude. That's such good news. I'm sure that set your nerves at ease a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'm worried about what he's going to say to the other students if they try to pick on him. Like that's where a lot of my because I don't know if it makes me a good dad or not, but I taught him from a very, very early age that if somebody's picking on you and calling you names, you just fire back with, "Oh yeah, well you're ugly and your mama dresses you funny."
Well, let's hope he doesn't have to pull that one out of the bag. Let's hope that the kids are good to him too. I know that it's a war zone out there, man. I mean, I think back to some of the stuff that went on when I was a young kid, and my dad always told me that if I was defending myself, that he would be sitting right there in the principal's office next to me, and that was just fine. If I could make a case for why I was in the principal's office and what I did to end up there, that he would defend me, but only if I could make that case. And I'll be honest with you, in kindergarten, there was a kid that used to run around and kiss everybody, and he would kiss you right on the mouth. I mean, he would walk up and lay one on you. And I asked him 3 or 4 days in a row not to kiss me anymore, and he didn't stop, and so I punched him in the stomach. And I ended up in the principal's office, and actually, you know what? That's the only time I had ever used violence to solve a problem. It worked, but I wouldn't recommend it, especially not among kindergartners. I don't want anybody to think that that's the advice I'm giving, but I think that the point I'm trying to make here is that he knows that you're going to be there to back him up should anything go wrong, and that's a really good feeling to have as a kid.
Yeah, in this preschool daycare thing he's in, there was a kid who just likes to shove people. It's the polar opposite of what you were dealing with.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Yeah, he just likes to shove people. Well, Keith did a leg sweep and hooked the kid's leg and pushed at the same time. Kid went.
That's one way to ignore it. Yeah, one way to get him to stop.
And they brought his mom in, and she's like, "Hold on, I'm gonna get his dad on the phone."
That's good.
Like, what? Got me on the phone. I said, "What happened?" And, I'm asking the principal, I'm like, "What happened?" And she's like, "Well, your son knocked another kid down." I said, "Okay, why?" "What do you mean, why? Why didn't he do it?" "Well, he was just being violent." No, that's not my kid. What happened that led up to it? And the other kid was playing rough, and I'm like, "There's your problem. Why didn't you stop that?"
Yeah. No, Joe. Well, because it's easier to wait for somebody to retaliate and then get on their case, right?
Yeah. Well, it's not our policy to get involved in things like that. "Oh, it's not your policy." Well, you're involved in it now.
Yeah. And it's only my policy to get involved once you've screwed the situation up, right?
Yep.
Now you're involved. Yeah. I get it, man.
It got bad. Keith was telling me that he'd asked the kid to stop. The kid wouldn't listen. He got worse. The more Keith tried to use his words, the worse the kid got. And so he's like, "I did what you showed me, Dad." I said, "Good job, kid." Right in front of the principal. He's like, "Good job." She's like, "You shouldn't be telling him good job." I said, "He did a good job. He did your job."
Yeah, and he didn't even get paid for it.
Mhm.
Heck of a
Well,
day.
what if they want to press charges? I'm gonna aim them at you.
It sounds like you're
Right.
pretty good at dealing with this, Duncan. It really does.
They're minors. How can you press charges?
Yeah, exactly.
You can do that now. It's a thing. I don't know how, but it's
Really?
yeah.
That's silly.
What are you gonna do? Send them to a group home?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Cool.
Right. Well, listen, guys.
Silly.
I don't want to keep you on here a whole lot longer. I've got. I know you guys have got stuff to do. Burt, I know you're unloading, and of course, Donut, I want to get you back to home time here. But as always, we always make some room for some final thoughts here. And I also just had a couple extra questions that I wanted to ask Caitlin real quick before we get to our final thoughts. So Caitlin, as a freshman in high school, I remember being very excited about all the different electives that became available to me. I was a lot like you. I liked the English classes. I like to read. I like to write. Math, it ran away from me at a young age and has not come back, so I don't try very hard at that. But are there any electives, PE, band, choir, maybe theater, anything like that you're looking forward to taking now that high school's a reality?
Well, I do orchestra.
Okay, so what instrument do you play?
I play violin.
Oh, that's awesome. I think the violin is such a cool instrument. Do you know who the band Yellow Card is?
No, I do not.
I knew that. I pulled that one out before I actually thought through it. She's only 14. I'm an old man to her. Yellow Card is a pop punk band that has an electric violin in it. So they play rock music with a violin, and I think it's one of the coolest things ever. How long have you been playing violin, Caitlin?
Since 4th grade.
Oh, wow. So you're like really good at it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So we're going to keep playing violin in orchestra throughout high school, you think?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Some of the coolest people I met in high school were the people that I got to play music with both in the pep band and the orchestral band. And I was a bit of a screw up in that because I was the drummer and all I wanted to do was play loud. So I just, I wasn't always the best person to have at rehearsal, but I tried and I had a lot of fun. So that sounds awesome. What about sports? Are you an athlete at all? Do you do any sports?
I am not a very athletic person.
Well, you play the violin better than all the football stars, so hey, I'd say that's a good trade-off.
I got to give her kudos on this, though. She did not shy away from trying out for sports. She just did, she did it and didn't find them to her liking, and so she's willing to try stuff.
That's cool. Well, congratulations on that, because you don't get experience without trying stuff. Anything that you're looking forward to taking a crack at for the first time this year when school starts?
I really don't have any new classes for my first semester at all. But I'm looking forward to joining clubs.
Okay, cool. And they got, I think I was in chess club. They have those types of clubs. Is there a specific one that you're looking forward to joining?
I might join debate with my friend, but I'm also looking at joining theater.
Very cool.
So you're going to learn how to talk back to your parents.
Very cool. It's a great skill to have. Trust me, when you hit my age, it's nothing but banter. So you might as well get good at it now, Caitlin. Learn how to argue. That's a skill that has served me so well. Not really in my marriage, to be honest with you. It hasn't worked out there, but every other walk of life, it's a great skill to have, Caitlin. So, well, listen up, Caitlin. Before we let you go today, one thing that we always do on this podcast is I clear space for final thoughts for everybody that joined us today. And this can be anything you want it to be. If you want to say hi to some friends that might listen, if you want to, wish your dad a happy day at work, or if you just want to say, hey, thanks for having me. It's literally wide open, whatever you would like to say here. So we'll go to you first. And before I do, I'd like to say thank you so much for taking a chance and trying this out and coming on here with us today. You've been a fantastic podcast guest.
Well, thank you for having me on here. I wish my dad a good day at work, like you said.
Perfect, Caitlin. Well, thank you so much for being here. Burt, we'll go ahead and parlay that. Final thoughts from you. And again, thanks for the time and thanks for bringing your daughter on.
You bet. So first of all, Kate, have fun playing Roblox the rest of the night. I'll call you later. No, I'm very proud of my daughter, and she does like podcasts and YouTube, so I thought this would be a nice thing for us to do together. I try to be a good dad and share experiences I can with her like that, get her involved in stuff. She's been a very good daughter. We've been through some tough spots, but she has really come out on top, and I'm like shocked that the kid has goals at 14, you know. At 13, she was talking about getting a job, you know. 10 years old, she's talking about being some sort of forensic scientist investigator and stuff, and I'm like, all right, well, it sounds like you're going to need to start working on these things now.
Yep.
You know, and she's done that. So I have a lot of respect for her.
You can hear
what she's been through doing this.
You can hear it, Burt.
Yeah.
It comes through for sure, man. And you jumped at the opportunity to bring her on here, which also means that you can tell.
I knew she'd like it.
Yeah.
I knew she'd like it.
Well, Burt and Caitlin, thank you guys both so much for the time today. We're going to kick it over to Donut now for some final thoughts from him. Got a big birthday party coming up this weekend, and you're a little bit nervous about school, Donut, but I'm guessing things are going to work out. You seem pretty prepared to me. So final thoughts from you today, my friend, and thanks for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. Like I said, my mom's mentality was if you can survive me, you can survive anything, and I think that's helped a lot. Unlike my mother, I have yet to be banned from a school district, so that's good.
I'm going to put a pin in that so you can tell that story next time you're on the show, okay? Because that sounds like a good one.
She doesn't like people. She doesn't like the school district mistreating her kids. She's been escorted out of a few schools by 4.
That's a mama bear that I'd like to talk to right there. I love it.
If I could ever get her on the phone, I'd have her come on for a podcast.
Cool. Well, hey, we're all about bringing our families on this show, so if that ever happens, I'd love to hear how some of you ended up the way you did. I'd love to get a few minutes in the pocket with your parents and talk to them, so.
Well, my dad will be easier to get on here, but
you don't want him telling stories.
I've told you before I was a foster kid, so I'm sure I could get some of my parents on here.
Okay.
One, we'd have to have a translator. He only speaks Spanish.
Hey,
mostly.
that could be fun. We could test out my rudimentary, second grade Spanish knowledge. We'd see how many words I could pick up.
It's probably better than mine. The only other thing I can think of to say here is actually for Caitlin. First off, to bail you out of your yellow card alligators there, Skillet. They use violin.
Oh, Skillet. Okay, there's another one. And
That's proper. That's proper.
Yeah, but does she know it? That's the question. Caitlin, have you ever heard of the band Skillet?
You still in here, kid?
Yes.
Oh, it's okay.
I heard that.
Have you ever heard of the band Skillet before, Caitlin?
I have not.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. We're all old, you guys. We never had a chance at this.
Yeah, well, I'm old. Well, everybody's using synthesizers now.
Yep, it's true.
Well, it's not even synthesizers anymore.
70s?
What is it called now? I don't know. It's the same thing.
They're just making it. They're making it with the computer.
You're talking about auto-tune.
Yes, auto-tune.
Kate, what's your favorite band?
My favorite band?
Yeah.
It's the one you introduced me to.
Ooh, Be Your Own Pet?
Yes.
Okay, I figured it was that one. We know it ain't Teenage Bottle Rockets.
Ah,
She
dang
just
it.
goes nuts by me rocking out to punk music all the time driving around.
Oh.
She will drop some, what are those called, TikToks?
Uh-huh.
They're snaps of me singing in the car terribly.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong to bebopping along with some Teenage Bottle Rocket, maybe some Bowling for Soup. We'll get some Blink-182 and some Green Day in there just for the nostalgia of it. I feel like the three of us could have a really good playlist, but Caitlin would probably frown at most of it.
Or laugh at us, definitely.
Well,
I'm throwing Fall Out Boy and Panic in for fun.
Hey, I can do Fall Out Boy. I'm not the biggest Panic at the Disco fan, but I'll let you work one or two in, okay?
Okay.
I'm really gonna try to make myself sound cool here, you guys, because of this. Knowing that you guys are into this type of music, I just started a cover band, and we just played our first show a couple days ago, and it was 17 songs of what we're talking about. Fall Out Boy, Yellow Card, Green Day, Blink-182. And I'll tell you right now, I have never felt younger than sitting up on stage as a 40-year-old man and playing songs that I listened to when I was 15. It's a great time. It's a real great time, guys. So, well, listen, fellas, I want to let you
living the dream.
Yeah, living the dream. I want to let you get back to it. Real quick, though, Donut, I want to make sure you had finished up what you were saying to Caitlin, because we kind of got down a rabbit hole. So,
yeah, we do that on here. My only other advice is, Caitlin, you said you were interested in psychology. Whether it's for career-wise or whatever, psychology is very useful in life. That's actually what I went to college for, and now I'm a truck driver. I found that putting that degree to work did not suit my temperament well, but it does help me in daily life.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. You got something to look forward to. And let's face it, I know Donut well enough to say you probably got a better temperament than he does, Caitlin. So you're setting yourself up for success, okay?
Okay.
All right. Well,
Kate's got plenty of lunatics in her family to practice on too.
okay.
Oh yeah.
Not just me. She's got plenty of subjects.
That's awesome. Well, Burt Morris, Caitlin Morris, and Mikal Donut Duncan, you guys have been awesome today. I really appreciate you joining me here for the back to school special. And listen, Caitlin, you're going to be the catalyst for a lot more trucker kids coming on this show, and I just really appreciate you being the first timer here. So thank you guys all for everything today, and hope you enjoy the final bits of your summer vacation, and back to school goes well. You guys take care, okay?
You bet. Okay. Thank you, Marcus.
What a great interview there from Burt, his daughter Caitlin, and Mikal Donut Duncan. I sent Burt this text minutes ago because I really wanted him to know how impressed I was with his 14-year-old daughter, Caitlin. I don't think I've ever spoken to a 14-year-old that's more engaged, intelligent, well-spoken, and polite. I mean, that was great. And just take that as an example of what it can be. I know that a lot of you guys have great kids in your families, and I know that because you're always bragging about them to me, and that is not a bad thing. And there is some immense pride that I hear come through you drivers' voices when you talk about your kids. If you are interested in having your kid on the show or kids on the show for any reason whatsoever, we can make it happen. We can work them in, okay? And listen, we're all about being a big, happy family here at Liquid Trucking, and your families are part of that as well, as we know. I mean, they get invited to the Jamboree, right? They are part of the family. So they're welcome here on the show. We're always doing different stuff. We're always coming up with new ideas. So if there's a reason and we can work them in, just get in touch with me and we will make it happen. Again, huge thanks going out to Donut, Burt, and his daughter Caitlin for that interview. I told you guys in the intro that we were going to get into some kind of a mixed bag of tricks here at the end of the show. And I'm going to start out by telling you guys what the top 6 United States vacation destinations are for families specifically, okay? Not just going on a bro trip. We're not taking a ladies vacation. We're not going on any cruises. We're not hopping over any oceans. This is all within the mainland of the United States. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm kind of surprised here. Coming in at 6 on the list is actually what I would call the honorable mention of our top 5, because it encompasses a lot. And I really don't feel like this, I don't even really know. I guess Southern Living is the one that put this together. So I'll tip my cap to Southern Living and say thanks for the list. I think this is cool. However, you forgot that there's like 30 some odd other states outside of the South, because a lot of this list pertains to the South. And I get it. Look, Florida, great weather down there. I went to Gulf Shores, Alabama a few years back. I thought, great, we're going to Alabama. It'll be fun to sit on a milk crate for a week. No, I was in a gigantic mansion on the beach, and it felt like Florida. And it turns out Florida was just like right over there. But still, I get it. But the honorable mention on our list here says Southern State Parks. Just in general, Southern State Parks. Nostalgic and budget-friendly. Alabama's Gulf State Park, Texas's Garner, West Virginia's Blackwater Falls, and Florida's Coral Haven offer hiking, stargazing, and multi-generational bonding moments. Well, thanks for that, Southern Living. Here's just a quick fact, and I'm going to say this is a fact because I'm pretty sure that it is. All state parks will offer that. We don't just have to center it around the South because we're in a magazine called Southern Living. Have you ever been to Yellowstone National Park? How about, the state park up at Wallowa Lake in Oregon? Or maybe I think Tahoe has a state park. I think that, I know there's a ton of state parks out there in Idaho, Montana, Kansas, Colorado has got some crazy state parks. So, to say that stargazing and multi-generational bonding moments is something that you can only get in the state parks of the South is asinine. You can see the stars anywhere. You know what place offers great stargazing? I know you're not going to believe this. Your front porch. It's crazy the amount of stars you can see. All you have to do is let it get dark, and you can walk out there and look at them. So, honorable mention, but I'd say a flawed one at best from Southern Living here. So let's move to number 5 on the list. Also, one that encompasses multiple things, but it's kind of all from one state, albeit the second largest one in landmass that we have. Coming in at number 5 on our list of best family vacation destinations, Texas cities, Austin, Dallas, and San Antonio. They scored big in Wallet Hub's top summer 2025 destination list, thanks to affordable family fun, live music, parks, museum, Six Flags amusement park, the Riverwalk, and more. That's more like it. Okay, listen, I get Southern State Parks. Yeah, it's exciting. You go to a city like Dallas, Austin, or San Antonio, they're going to have some Dallas, Austin, and San Antonio things for you to do. I've heard great things about the Riverwalk. I've never been to a Six Flags that I didn't enjoy. Friend of the podcast, Denny Stone, lives out there in Texas, and he would tell you, stay the hell away from all those big cities and go see some of the small ones around, like where he's from in New Braunfels. A little German community there with a great German tap house. The point is, you go to any of these places, you're going to get the culture that those places provide. And it's a big culture. It's Texas. They say everything's bigger. And from what I've seen, mostly that's true. I had a chicken fried steak in Texas once that was as big as like a 7-year-old child. Let's move on to number 4 on the list. Hatteras Island, North Carolina. That's the Outer Banks is what they call it. My video editor that works here at Bulldog with me, Scott, loves the Outer Banks. He says, laid back, natural, and ideal for active families. Beaches, horseback riding, wildlife refuges, maritime history, great storytelling fodder. That sounds fun. You don't think summer vacation and North Carolina, at least I don't, okay? I'm a little bit spoiled over here on the West Coast. We've got great beaches from Canada all the way down to Mexico. There's some of them that are treacherous and you never want to go to, but the lion's share of the coastline is pretty pristine out here. So when we think the coast over here on the West Coast, we're just going, I got to travel less than 100 miles west and I'm at the coast. I can get on that road, which is U.S. Highway 101. You truckers know it well. That thing goes from San Diego all the way up to Seattle, if I'm not mistaken, and further. So I don't think of North Carolina when I think beach vacation. But Scott, the good man that he is, shook it into me here recently. He said, dude, you remember what you said about going to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and how it was nothing like what you expected. That's what the Outer Banks are like in North Carolina. Mike, our audio ninja, is also a guy that visits the Outer Banks from time to time, if I'm not mistaken. So listen, I'm there for it. Great stuff. Head to the Outer Banks if you're taking the family on a quick one. And if you're on the Eastern Seaboard already, it's going to be relatively close to you unless you're up at the North Tip or the South Tip. So North Carolina and the Outer Banks, go check it out. Grayton Beach, Florida comes in at number 3 on our list. It's got that old school beach town feel with dune lakes, rustic dining, art shops, and it makes a perfect unplugged getaway for kids and parents alike. I like that, the unplugged thing. Maybe that's what you're looking for here in the dog days of summer. One more weekend where we can go to a place where the Wi-Fi sucks and we can put the tablets away and put the floaties on for a little bit. Grayton Beach, Florida sounds like a fantastic place. That comes in at number 3 on our list. Siesta Key Beach, Florida is at number 2, praised as one of the best U.S. beaches and ranked 4th globally. It offers soft quartz sand and calm, shallow waters that families love. Think mellow beach days with the kids at play. Siesta Key Beach, Florida. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that a couple of these come from Florida, right? It's beautiful in the summer. I mean, you can't go wrong. There's alligators everywhere, and that's a little bit concerning, but maybe just go to places where there aren't gators. They don't swim in salt water, so get on the beach. Grayton Beach, maybe Siesta Key Beach. Sounds like a good spot. And finally, coming in at number 1 on our list, I thought I had a drum roll here, but I don't, so we're just going to give it party horns after I say it because it surprised me. I got to be honest, especially considering it's a theme park. This really surprised me. Coming in at number 1 on our list is Dollywood, Tennessee. Named the number 1 theme park in TripAdvisor's 2025 Traveler's Choice Awards, outranking even Disney and Universal Studios, Dollywood remains a family favorite for its rides, water park, and rustic Smoky Mountain charm. I've never been, but how could you be anything other than a Dolly Parton fan, okay? You can't, and you shouldn't be. So go check out Dollywood. I mean, look, I'm sure it's going to be expensive because it's a theme park, but it ain't going to be as expensive as you're going to see that mouse, okay? That mouse will steal every dollar from your pocket, and it will kick you out into the parking lot destitute and broken. I've seen it happen. I'm not a Disney adult myself, but I've watched it happen. So be careful. Go to Dollywood instead. Dolly Parton, just, I mean, A1 individual of the highest order, right? We all love Dolly. Okay, now it's time for me to flip the script here a little bit on you guys, and I don't mean to do this for any other reason other than I want everybody, and this goes beyond truck drivers, this goes to everybody listening to this podcast, and there's a lot more people that listen than just the ones that work at Liquid Trucking. So this goes to all the truck drivers out there. It goes to all licensed drivers out there. I don't care if you're on a moped. Maybe you're on one of these new chirp scooters or whatever the hell they call them. You need to be watching out for this. The kids are going to be back on the road early mornings, late afternoons. You're going to see them. They're going to be going to and from school. Plus, we've got buses on the road. We've got parents carpooling, more traffic. All of this stuff is a reason to sort of just, have a little bit more diligence in your heart these next couple of months until you get used to it. Obviously, the school year runs for 9 months, so maybe 2 or 3 months in, we're used to seeing all of this traffic. We're used to seeing the kids out and about. But right now in the summer, it might be a little bit different, something to look out for. And we don't know, as I mentioned in the top, when school starts everywhere that you are going to be at as a truck driver. We know that we're coming up on it at the end of August here in Nebraska, but there's a lot of other states out there to worry about. And as I said, here in Oregon, we don't start until partway through September. So it's staggered, and it's good to just be thinking about it on the early side so that by the time the late kids get in, you guys are just, it's second hat for you again. So let's go to some cold hard facts here. Kids and school season risks involving semi-trucks, pedestrians, etc. here. A U.S. pedestrian and school transport crash data from 2010 to 2019 says that there were on average 120 school transportation-related crash deaths per year, including school bus occupants, other vehicles, and pedestrians. So in that 9-10 year stretch there was 120 deaths per year. That's terrifying. School-age pedestrians, which are under the age of 18, or equal to the age of 18, I should put that there too, accounted for around 20% of those fatalities. That's really sad. That's kids. They're just getting started in life. Half, 51% of school-age pedestrians killed in school transport-related crashes were aged 5 to 10. Half of them. By comparison, only about 26% of them were 14 to 18, okay? Obviously, as kids grow older, they start to have their head on a swivel and be more aware of their surroundings as well. It's these little ones that we got to watch out for. The little ones, the innocent ones, 5 to 10 years old, account for over 50% of the fatalities in that stretch between 2010 and 2019. Most of the pedestrian deaths, and this is important, most of the pedestrian deaths happened around school times from 7 a.m. to 7:59 a.m. and from 3 p.m. to 3:59 p.m. To be able to focus it down on such a small amount of time, 1 hour on each side of the day, that means that this is something that's prevalent, right? They can look at the data and they can say it's happening from 7 to 8 and it's happening from 3 to 4. That's when school lets out. Let's be mindful of those times, okay? I know a lot of you drivers get up and you're out there running early in the morning, which is fine. You know, if you're on a freeway or something like that, this is probably not something you have to be as worried about. But if you are getting up early to go get loaded and you're going to be driving through, a small town, that's when you got to be paying attention, man. 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., those are the real hot times. Many of these fatalities actually occurred not at intersections. This is another really important one. The data here underscores the importance of vigilance at mid-block crossings. And those can be established pedestrian first with a little light that blinks when they press the button, or those could be just kids, let's face it, jaywalking, just walking out across the street and not looking both ways. So keep the head on a swivel. Let's talk about some stuff that happened a little bit more recently here and a little close to home, if you really want my opinion. This was just February 2025, so I mean, getting towards the end of last year's school year. This was in Wisconsin, where a semi-truck failed to stop and rear-ended a stopped school bus. A 5-year-old was stepping off the bus at the time and flew off the bus. Fortunately, injuries were not serious, but the image from this is very chilling, and you can find that over at WSAZ.com. That's a local Wisconsin news story. That one could have been a lot worse. A child, I mean, think about it. Maybe she already stepped off the bus and she gets hit by the bus as it gets hit by the truck or something else like that. Lucky to have just launched her into the air. But wow, something nobody ever wants to have to be a part of. So keep your head on a swivel. And then back in Illinois in March of 2024, an NTSB report details a crash in Rushville, Illinois, where a semi and a school bus veered off the road and caught fire, killing 5 people, including 3 children. Scary, scary stuff. A phone call nobody wants to get. There was also another one in Minnesota where a school bus narrowly avoided a head-on crash with a semi-trailer. The bus driver's quick reaction is said to have saved lives. And this one goes way away from home, but is still worth mentioning. In Australia, near Melbourne, in July 2025, a B-double truck collided with a special needs school bus. The bus flipped. Injuries occurred. Fortunately, everyone survived, but road conditions were partially to blame there. And I know that we don't have to worry about that quite yet in the United States, but with these storms going on, tropical storms on both coasts, up and down the east and western seaboards, there can still be some driving hazards out there as far as road conditions. So just another thing to keep an eye on. There's a couple, there's a couple here that are what I would call historic, one from 85 and one from 72. I'm not even going to get to that, okay? I'm not going to keep hammering you guys with children in automobile accidents because it's hard to talk about, to be honest with you. So let's go to some other factors here that might play in. Of course, the number one factor that you're going to see play into these crashes is going to be fatigue and distraction. Fatigued or impaired driving remains a leading cause of commercial truck accidents. Distracted driving, using your phone or just not paying attention is frequently cited in NTSB and AP reports. Pedestrian vulnerability is a big part of this. Pedestrians hit by large trucks are obviously far more likely to sustain serious injuries or be killed than they are by smaller vehicles. Listen, we all know the difference in weight between a Honda Civic and a Peterbilt, especially one loaded with a 53-foot trailer on the back or a tank that's full. It's a lot of weight. 80,000 pounds versus a meat sack weighing 180. There's no contest there. So obviously pedestrians are vulnerable. We want to concentrate on get out and look and things like that here. Peak danger times and locations. We already hit on this a little bit, but school-related pedestrian crashes cluster around pickup and drop-off hours. Many happen away from intersections in mid-block crossings around school zones, like we said. And even a small lapse in speed or vision can be catastrophic near kids. We know that. Finally, the importance of defensive driving. This goes for bus drivers, truck drivers, and four-wheelers, all of you. A bus driver's quick intervention in that Minnesota story tells you how fast it can happen, okay? That was almost a head-on collision with the semi-truck, and that guy was able to get out of the way. Defensive driving, always trying to protect yourself, your passengers, your cargo. Look, I know this is all old hat to you guys. I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but I feel like if we don't do our due diligence on this podcast, that maybe we might not do as good of due diligence as we could somewhere down the line. So I just want to make sure and serve this as a reminder. And here on the way out, I actually have a super cut of news stories that I made that just kind of shook me a little bit, because as I was putting together audio clips for this, what I found was there was way too many of them. Take a listen. This is called the Kids at Play Supercut.
Death of a 14-year-old Ryan Hoob, who was killed while riding his bike on Friday. The initial findings in the investigation say Hoob was hit by the trailer of a semi-truck as it was turning.
A 6-year-old boy has died after being hit by a semi-truck. Police tell us the child was standing on the corner when the back of it went onto the curb and hit the child.
Looking at the mirror all the time. I know what's going on 30 seconds ago and 2 seconds ago.
I heard sirens, but you don't think, and then when we turned around, my son pointed out, that's Kevin's.
Kevin Pope couldn't be saved after he was struck by a semi-truck at the busy corner of Weatherby and Landstar. He was just 10 years old.
A child dies on the way to school, hit and killed by a semi-truck.
I didn't make that to be soft on you. I made it for the exact reason that you guys are feeling right now, and that is because it's gripping, it's hair-raising, it's harrowing, it's all of those vocab terms. But let's just be honest. It's there because we need to hear it so that we can all be safe out there. And as I said, I don't want you truck drivers out there to think that I'm lecturing you. I'm really not. You guys are some of the safest drivers I know, and you also have had safety protocol drilled into you at every corner. So more than anything, this goes out to drivers at large. If you're listening to this podcast and you've got a license to drive in your pocket, pay attention. It's back to school season, and kids are going to be out and about. We just want everybody to get home safe and get to their homework or their sports practice or whatever it is, okay? That's going to do it for episode 91 of the Liquid Trucking Podcast. I greatly appreciate everybody being here. I want to thank Michael Donut Duncan, Burt Morris, and Caitlin Morris one more time, because that was just an awesome interview that really showed how much fun we can have when we get some of the kids of Liquid Trucking involved in the podcast. And more than anything, just finding out what you guys did, what type of time you got to spend with the families over the summer is always fun and always welcome here on the Liquid Trucking Podcast. So that does it today. We will see you next week where we will be talking some pigskin. And don't expect me to be calm about it. Stay safe out there, drivers. Keep the shiny side up. And for next week, this week, go Ducks, go 49ers. We'll see you.
Thanks for tuning in and being the gold standard of drivers on the road. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and tune in next week for another episode of the Liquid Trucking Podcast.
Interested in finding out more about what it takes to bring a podcast like the Liquid Trucking Podcast to your fleet? Bulldog provides tailor-made top-to-bottom podcast production services. We'll meet your terminal staff, connect with your drivers, and bring you the content you want your drivers to hear. Type bulldog.works into your browser to connect with us and learn more about what we can do for your fleet. That's bulldog.works for podcasts, tenacious recruiting, and more.